What's up guys, Ryan here with E39 Source, and we are truly becoming the source for anything E39. We're going to continue to do DIYs, instructional, technical content, everything that we've been doing. But additionally now, please know us as a parts distributor. That's right, we're going to try our hand at doing some parting out. And obviously, what better car to part out? What do I know more about? What do we like more than the E39 M5. Unfortunately, the front end of this one has certainly seen some better days, but there are a ton of great parts on this car. This one's an 02 in sterling. It's got a great motor, a really clean headliner, a fantastic set of staggered original genuine BMW style 65s with great tires. It's got hella smoked tails and a whole bunch more goodies inside. To keep this 2000 M5 with over 200,000 miles on the road isn't always easy or affordable. New parts are occasionally ludicrously expensive, or they're just not available. So turning to used parts, good condition used parts, is oftentimes a great example. And there's certainly a lot of them in here. My engine and differential axles, a lot of the parts on this car have been sourced from donor cars that were unfortunately damaged like this one, and then parted out for the betterment of the community and preserving the other E39 M5s. So the purpose of the video is going to be to give you a walk around outside, a peek inside, a good look underneath, a startup clip, and we'll show you what's good, we'll show you what's not so good, and we'll show you, most importantly, what's available. Now, if you see parts that you're interested in, please email me, ryan@e39source.com, and I'll be happy to let you know if it's still available, what we're looking to get for it, get some shipping quotes, etc. Also, please check the video description to see what has already sold. In this video, we have sold a couple of things, even though we have not advertised or promoted this too much at all. Obviously, those parts are going to be missing. Things that are pending, I will show you and let you know that, hey, that's not available and this isn't available. But for the most part, anything you see here right now is available. But do check that video description to see what I have commented from the E39 Source account, letting you know that that has sold and is no longer available. So with that said, let's get a look at the front and figure out why this car is here. So a couple of months ago in Las Vegas, Nevada, this has been a Southern California car and then a Nevada car for its entire life. It was unfortunately damaged on this front right corner. Went into another vehicle, somebody pulled out in front of them. The front frame rail took the impact, it's bent. The fender was damaged, the hood was damaged, the engine itself unscathed. Same thing with the rest of the driveline, all of that stuff's fantastic. It's the core support, front bumper carrier, and again, and most importantly, that frame rail that was damaged. Here are the damaged parts that we've taken off. The hood isn't supposed to look like that. The fender was crunched, the core support, the auxiliary fan is gone, and the front bumper carrier. So with the damaged parts off, we can get a great look at what's here and what's in good shape. The radiator wasn't even compromised. It is a little bit low on fluid, but the system was not damaged and did not leak. So we'll start by walking around the exterior of the car. It's sterling gray metallic. It's an 02 model year, a late 2001 build. I'll get a VIN number here if you guys want to plug that in, see what options or equipment it has on it. As you can see, it's an 1101, and those last 7 are Charlie Foxtrot 90515. It's got shadow line trim. I mentioned genuine BMW style 65 wheels. They are not perfect, but these are in damn nice condition. There's a little bit of curbing there on that edge. The finish on this one's really great, and it's got Michelin Pilot Super Sports and the correct tire size with a ton of tread left on them, and that's true on all 4 points. The rear ones are staggered, and I think we're looking to move these as a set of 4. I know everybody wants the rear ones to do a staggered setup. On the back, these are genuine Hella smoked taillights. These aren't a film over the original taillights. These are the ones from Hella, who also made these for BMW, that have a light smoke to them, and it actually looks pretty nice on the sterling. Up here is where you see the difference. The rest of it's fine. We've tested everything. All the functions work. The bulbs are good. The little corners aren't broken off. It's a great set of taillights. Inside the trunk, you'll notice it has the standard DSP box. Then we have a Mark III navigation computer, and we have a BM53 radio down there. Unfortunately, that one doesn't do aux, but it certainly functions as a early BM53. And then there is a perfectly working DSP amp back there. The trunk lid itself is really in fantastic shape. There's zero rust anywhere on this car, so all of the body panels are in good shape. I did notice a minor ding somewhere up here on the top, and there's also a handful of dings in the doors around the car. It is an older vehicle, of course, but seemingly all of those dings could be PDR'd, or paintless dent removal. None of them are in body creases or too close to the door handles. The rear right is the nicest wheel on the car. Finish is perfect. I'm not seeing any sort of curbing along the sides. I did wash these wheels yesterday. I did not dry them, so there's some water spots in there still. I can definitely get some better video or pictures with after a full detail if you guys are interested. The imperfection I'm seeing is there, pretty minor. And the front right does give a little bit of a different color. I'm not sure if the finish is beginning to fail or maybe this one's been refinished before. It's just as clean as the other ones, but has more of a gunmetal look. And there are Pilot Super Sports on all four corners. The sunroof was replaced a couple of years ago, not too many miles ago, and is in perfect working order. Car's also got nearly new brake rotors and pads on it. I'm super impressed at how that looks in there. Really, they look like they were put on about 2 weeks before the accident. It's a shame. Let's move on inside, kind of a hybrid actually. We're going to push the mirror fold button and we'll see that the driver's side is a little slow, but does fully fold in. Passenger side sounds fine, goes a lot faster. Those are two working mirrors. Now I have noticed that the glass in here is actually an aftermarket piece of glass as denoted by those numbers on the bottom, but there's no bubbling or fading. The heat functions still work. The auto dimming does not. As we move inside the car, you'll immediately notice that the Titan trim 16:9 navigation display, the e-brake handle and boot, and then the Euro center console have already moved. So those parts are, of course, no longer available. The same will go for the front door sills as well as the trunk struts. Sales are pending on those. Now originally this car came with the M1SW full leather black luxury interior, and the seats are still present. The Alcantara headliner is still present and in wonderful condition. However, the dashboard, upper and lower, all four door panels, the center console, the lower B-pillars, and the steering trim have been replaced with standard 5 Series parts by a previous owner. I don't know the full story behind that, but that's what we have. Having said that, they're in great condition. So if you've got a 540 or an M5 with beat up door panels, these are actually quite nice. They have the original M5 door handles in the chrome, and then we do have the M5 locks here from the luxury package as well. Take a look in the back. This is the original back seat in not perfect condition, but quite good. I do not know what happened to the other headrests, but we can get a look at that back bit of Alcantara, and all of that looks fantastic. It's been saved by this tint. I don't know how long that's been in there, but it's got a pretty dark tint on it, and usually these get very, very, very faded back here. While this one may not be perfect, it's certainly better than most I've seen. We've got both rear door sills, both pieces of trim inside the door sill as well. The back panels, standard 5 Series door panels as well. I have not cleaned the interior, so it doesn't quite look as good as it could right now. All I've done is give it a quick vacuum. The lighting isn't too happy with me, but we'll try to get a better look at the Alcantara. The only imperfection I'm seeing is a bit of a ripple here where some of the glue's let go. Other than that, I don't see any sagging, any indication that it's ever been removed or tampered with before. The same goes for the C-pillars. Usually you can tell when these have been out. These are in stellar condition. Same thing all the way up to the A-pillars. That A-pillar has been removed, and like most of them, that center clip is not completely holding against the pillar, but we've got the leather sun visors up there, the factory home link, the sensor panel. It's all here. Previous owner states that the steering wheel was replaced around 100,000 miles, so this one you can easily tell that without any sort of cleaning or reconditioning yet, the stitching is quite clear. It's still got some texture to it, and it's not all glossy and shiny like most of these get. Also, the button panels are in great shape. The logo's there. There's no notable scuffs or anything, and all of those functions work as designed. Let's talk about the engine and the mechanicals a little bit more. So as I mentioned, the engine was not harmed in the accident, with the exception of the fan. The mechanical fan is no longer in there. Some of the blades broke off, so I removed it, as well as the clutch. I still do have the clutch from 2010. And the auxiliary fan is gone as well. But the engine itself, except for missing the little cap door that covers up the positive terminal, is all here. Now we haven't cleaned it yet. It'll clean up a little bit better than that, but it sounds great. It's an O2 motor. It's got a little bit of Vanos grumble. They all do, of course. And when I started it for the first time after about 2 months, we heard a little bit of lifter tick, but not too bad at all. And that went away in the first mile. So this is a great sounding 2002 S62 with 156,120 miles. The first thing we did, of course, before turning the key was check the engine oil. It appears to be clean and was properly full. If we take a look at the power steering fluid, it's at the right level. It's beautiful red. That's been serviced. The cabin air filters were clean. The engine air filters were clean. Everything was genuine. I haven't found any aftermarket parts on this car. And it's even got a clear expansion tank that was not damaged. Take a look at that. All the other M5s have the orange one. This thing was really well taken care of. I have driven it 2.1 miles, and boy does it feel fantastic. This engine feels ridiculously healthy. And I don't know if it's because there's a lot of weight missing right now with no hood, bumper carrier, core support, that fender, but this thing really feels like unnaturally quick. That is a very healthy 2002 S62. Transmission also feels fantastic. I don't know if it's got a short shifter in here or what, but I'm used to the 545i in my car, and this kind of feels like that. That may very well be what's in there. Now I've gotten it up into 4th gear. I can't obviously take it on city streets without lights and whatnot and registration, but it shifts really well. The clutch was replaced no more than 20,000 miles ago. This is a really good feeling transmission. In fact, this car mechanically, I'm blown away at the condition of this car mechanically. We had it up on the rack the other day. I was underneath looking at the suspension, the control arms, bushings, struts and springs. Everything under there has been taken care of. I was genuinely unable to find anything that needed attention. I suppose the only non-genuine modification to this car would be the muffler delete, and that is the only modification to the exhaust. It has stock headers, stock catalytic converters that had not thrown any codes to the DME, stock resonator, and a muffler delete. And by the way, that resonator is vouched for. It'll be gone this weekend. So let's turn the key. We can get a listen. The engine's pretty cold right now, aside from starting it a few minutes ago and just turning it around in the shop here. But we can also get a look at the cluster. Ignore the gas mileage, it's been starting and idling. The cluster fully works. All the gauges sweep their full range of motion, all the pixels are perfect. The front temp sensor's missing, hence the -40. It's about 60 here in California right now. But all those pixels work. So we'll press the clutch to the floor, fire it up. There we go. The only light that's staying on right now is, of course, the airbag light. Seeing as we've removed this airbag, and that airbag was detonated as well and is also gone. And then it's complaining about all the lights up there, which are of course just not present. So the muffler delete makes a little bit of rumble back there, which is great. We'll come up here. The secondary air pump has been removed, so you're not going to hear that. That's a fantastic sounding S62. Now it's a cold motor and it's facing into the garage here, so I'm not going to let it run too long. I'm going to go ahead and put the car up in the air. I'll show you underneath as well. Got some other goodies that you'll see. But I'll get a quick clip just kind of moving it around here. Show you that everything shifts and works as designed. Even all the windows work. What are the odds of that? An E39 M5 with 4 good window regulators. Let's head under. We already talked about the tires, they're all great. We get under here, we see a super clean differential. Doesn't look like this thing's really ever had a leak in its life, honestly. Mine was all rusty on my car, but look at that, even the axles, all this hardware, nice and clean. The original black paint's still all there. As I mentioned, the resonator will be gone. The muffler deletes, these look like they were done a long time ago, and honestly, it's got a broken bracket over here, so don't think that's gonna have much demand. We've got a nice set of chassis braces here, just the slightest hint of any sort of corrosion on this one. Otherwise, the center brace there all appears to be in excellent shape. All the original hardware is still here. Same thing go for the lines. Looks like the fuel filter's been replaced. This was a very well taken care of car. Catalytic converters are here. Oxygen sensors, everything looks right. We move up. The pan that is supposed to sit here was probably damaged and removed in the accident. The transmission itself is by and large clean. It does look like it's had some seepage. There's a little bit of fluid buildup there, but shifts great, feels really good in the car. And then we get up to the bottom of the engine. Let me reposition the light. We'll get a better look at that. Take a look at that oil pan. That is potentially the cleanest S62 oil pan I have ever seen, excluding mine directly after the rebuild. Doesn't look like this engine has ever leaked a drop of anything. All the way down to around the bolt, the oil level sensor. The front subframe shows no corrosion or rust. Same thing with the front anti-roll bar. The control arms have been replaced before. All of that is in fantastic shape. There's no torn boots. And there's a goodie. These are Bilstein PSS coilovers with a build date of 2012. The front left side has that date. I believe that is the date, 2012, and some part numbers. And these are on all 4 points. A little tough to see in the shadows back there, but they're in the back too. It's certainly sad to see one bite the dust, but at the end of the day, this car will help cars like mine and maybe cars like yours stay on the road. So please feel free to leave comments, send me an email, again, Ryan@e39source.com. That will be in the description below. If you have any questions or inquiries, I'll be happy to get back to you as quickly as I can. All right, guys, thanks for your time. We'll talk soon.